Magical and medicinal properties of mugwort. The common mugwort is a rather lovely flowering herb that can be found in hedgerows and on wasteland. Some consider it a weed. It is almost most noticeable during the month of August when its flowers are out, and it can grow up to 2.5 metres tall. It does tend to stand higher than some of the other hedgerow plants. Mugwort is native to temperate Europe, Asia, North Africa and some parts of Alaska. Its leaves are very distinctive. There are a lot of theories as to where we get the name mugwort from. The wort part originally meant root, but it came to mean plant, particularly plants with medicinal values. Hence the word wort cunning, referring to the knowledge of herbs. Some think that the mug part comes from muggy, the Old Norse for marsh, and mugwort does indeed like slightly damp conditions in order to grow. Others think that it refers to the mug, as in the kind you drink out of, because mugwort has long been used to flavour drinks, and before the introduction of hops was used to flavour beer. Its Latin name of Artemisia vulgaris is derived from Artemis, the Greek goddess of the wilderness, wild animals and the moon, who was known to the Romans as Diana. It is one of her most sacred plants. For centuries there was a belief that mugwort would protect you from being attacked by wild animals or getting lost in the wilderness, as anyone who carried it would be under the protection of Artemis herself. Artemis was also associated with fertility, pregnancy and birth, so was often called upon by midwives, and mugwort was famous in ancient times for hastening childbirth when labour was proving difficult or if a child was overdue. It was also used in an abortive act, so must not be used by the pregnant. As it's related to ragweed, mugwort pollen is also a major allergen for some people. It's one of the main sources of hay fever and asthma, so please be careful, super careful, if you're thinking of working with mugwort. You may prefer to work with this plant more in terms of spirit and its energy. Mugwort contains the germ, which is toxic in large amounts, so must always be used very sparingly. That said, it and many of its relatives have long been used in various cuisines around the world. In Germany it's used to flavour meats, especially goose. In Japan, mugwort is used to make lucky cakes called daifuku, which means great luck. In Korea it's used to make rice cakes, soups, teas and salads. In China its use dates back thousands of years and is still served as a vegetable in stir-fries with smoked meats or in sweet dumplings. Throughout Asia, mugwort has been used medicinally in moxibustion, where burning dried mugwort is placed on various points of the body, particularly on the specific acupuncture points, to restore balance and promote healing. Acupuncture needles may also be coated with mugwort oil. In Korea, the use of moxibustion was, according to legend, developed by King Gangan, who was allegedly the son of a bear goddess, and bears have long been considered animal allies for healers, herbalists in particular. Mugwort was also burned after treating patients to purify the air. Medicinally, mugwort has been used to heal many different ailments. It's reputed to stop bleeding and thin the blood, prevent cramps, lower fevers, ease coughs and colds, treat sores, bruises and skin complaints, soothe indigestion, cleanse the body of impurities and sickness, ease joint pain, ease period pain, regulate periods, improve the mood, cure both diarrhea and constipation, and bring sweet dreams. In medieval times, people would place mugwort leaves in their shoes to combat fatigue and cramps, and to keep their feet generally smelling sweeter. In Germany, mugwort is known as Beifuss, meaning push your foot, as in to keep going. Mugwort is one of the herbs of the Anglo-Saxon Nine Herbs Charm, which was first recorded in the 10th century. This charm was said to cure wounds, aches and pains, infections, and even poisoning. Even just carrying a mugwort leaf was said to protect the bearer from disease, misfortune, and evil spirits. It was seen as incredibly protective and so long has been used in protection spells, especially for the home. In Japan, bundles of dried mugwort were placed outside homes to keep ghosts away. It's believed throughout Europe and Asia that evil spirits cannot abide the smell of mugwort, so it acts as a deterrent. Certainly many insects can't stand its smell. All parts of the plant make for an effective insect repellent and insecticide. It also has antibacterial properties. In Europe, crowns made of mugwort are worn of midsummer for protection, especially from malevolent fairies. Midsummer is also sometimes known as the festival of St. John, and some old names and customs involving mugwort also refer to St. John and his festival, and there's a story that St. John wore a girdle of this herb. Mugwort is said to be at its most potent at midsummer, and as a result was often harvested on that day. Its dried leaves were drunk as a tea or burned as incense to promote lucid dreaming, psychic experiences, and a perceived ability to be able to fly. That would be the Thujon then. Mugwort was sacred to the Druids and is a witch's herb. It was used in their flying ointments that would allow the witch or their spirit to fly, usually to fly off to perform magic or healing at a distance, or to journey into other realms in search of knowledge or to commune with spirits and ancestors. With its protective and purifying properties, many witches will use a wash made with mugwort to cleanse their sacred space or magical tools. The incense, in small amounts, may also be burned to cleanse and consecrate a sacred space or the home prior to or during meditation, divination, or dream work. In modern magic, mugwort is sacred to many deities associated with magic, witchcraft, and the wilderness, such as Artemis Diana, the Morrigan, Hecate, Air, Freg, and Freya. As this herb grows so abundantly in hedgerows, it makes a great plant ally for any hedge witch or green witch. Mugwort is ruled by the elements of water and air and the planets Venus, Neptune and Earth. Its gemstones are dark green jade for its healing connection, verdolite for its connection with the wilderness, and green seraphonite, itself associated with the idea of wings flying and spiritual journeying. What will you learn from this very magical and witchy herb? Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.